Hey guys, I'm not sure if I really want to take that mask right now. I'm in the car and just finish up doing some grocery shopping, and outside is pretty dark and cloudy and rainy actually, like they promised. So that means it's a major bummer for my laundry, but what can I do, right? I went to get some diapers and some stuff from the Dollar Tree or the 100 cent shop. This is a really cool bag from a dear friend who left it behind. Got some sushi for lunch, but I'm gonna tell you, last night I don't know what it's like, but sometimes it do you have those feelings like you're just washing the dishes and you out of a sudden become really tired of keeping it all together? I don't know how to explain it. I felt overwhelmed, if that's what it looks like. It's not like nobody did anything particularly bad. It's just I got to this point where I hate it here so much. Like, I'm asking myself constantly, what the heck are you doing here? Like, if you don't want to be in a place, you just leave. You pack up and you leave the place. But it's not that easy when you have 5 kids and no income at the moment. So it's really hard. And I think that's what part of it is. Like, I just feel like helpless and hopeless and been hitting that rock bottom for a while now, I would say. And I just told my sister last night. I just texted with her and a little bit with my dad, but like I texted with my sister, and I just told her I can't do this. I just can't do it. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, nothing really particularly happened. It's just I just can't do it. And she's like, she just told me, I get it, and you got too much on your plate. And you know, if you look from outside, it's like, what does she have to complain about, right? Everything seems fine. Like, she's got a car, she can go shopping, she can drive in Japan legally, she got wonderful kids, which I do. Her house looks okay. It's not like falling apart or like roaches crippling all over the place as you are there. No such stuff. Her husband is a hardworking person who makes the big bucks and makes it possible for all 7 of them to survive. And he's got the army of his sweet mother and his employee, who is also Asian. Know that. I guess we'll never have employees that are Caucasian or especially American, because I guess it's hard to deal with those people. I mean, look at me. Like, it's really hard to communicate with those people from the West culture, because hey, we have it here, great. We in Japan here, great. Everybody should come to terms with our laws and our everything and submit to it, or else, or get out. Right. And there's something about Asian people sticking to Asian people. I got it. I finally understood it, but that's not necessarily mean that I enjoy it. And there are lots of other circumstances, but I just got it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of this lifestyle. I really did, you guys. Last night I just felt it. There is a limit to every patience, and there is I don't know. It's hard to keep going and keep living and finish the day when you don't see a light in the tunnel. And so my little lights are, My family members are the ones who keep me up, still keep going. My family members, they are the ones who keep me up. And my kids. But my kids are kind of like, they're in that age where they're just keeping it themselves, and they're just, they're staying in their corner and don't really interfere much unless they have to. So, yeah. It's a rough road. It's a rough road, guys. But I'll try to make it work for the sake of my kids. And my kids only. Because I realize in this life, you could have everything. You could be anybody. You can have titles, and you could still feel like absolutely miserable about. And that's the tough part. I think the tough part is from the outside how it looks like. It's completely different from what's actually inside. And it's been in movies and in books how everything looks so perfect. Everything looks so perfect from outside in a family and in a household, and the house when you pass by. Everything looks so cheerful, wonderful, and happy life. And the actuality is completely different. And it's like trying to balance, to keep surviving and put up that huge mask on your face. Or because I'm not really a person who puts masks on, I just totally isolate myself from the surroundings because I cannot stand those surroundings. I cannot. So yeah, I am planting gardens. Yeah, I am playing with the kids outside, but I cannot stand being outside. I cannot stand being in this house. I cannot stand being here in isolation completely. And I'm not talking about the COVID-19, the pandemic isolation, sort of isolation. It's a different sort of isolation. So yeah, I know I should be reaching more out to friends, but I don't have time for that. Like yesterday, I barely touched my phone, like just in the morning while I was making my video and talking to my sister, and then towards the end of the day when I was completely falling apart. Yeah. And when that all undergoes, like, never recognized, never seen, never realized of the of what's going on with you, and not shared with anybody, it just piles up. And when it piles up, it becomes impossible, and just you have to find some kind of way to burst it out. Otherwise, you just go nuts. And so sometimes my kids will be like, "Mommy, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just watching this, and I feel like I want to cry. I just feel like I want to cry." And I did that before a lot, but like now I try to, put up a strong mother for them, so that, I don't want to pretend to be a superhero of some sort for them, but I don't want them to see me falling apart either. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. None of it is their fault. They're actually my blessing, my strength. Or what it is, you guys. But yeah, try to enjoy your day, as long as it doesn't matter if it's snowy or cloudy or rainy or sunny or windy or typhoonish or stormy. Like, just try to enjoy your day and grab a good book or watch a nice movie or something that you like. Try to find your place of comfort and reach out to an old friend. Be the person you want to be for 5 minutes or like 15 minutes. Dance like nobody's watching, but for reals. Just be the person you want to be. Sometimes that helps. I think it will really be helpful for me if I had like a sandbox, no sandbox, a sandbag, and a couple of those boxing gloves. It would be really, really good for me to have that. Trust me, that sandbag is not gonna last long. But instead of that, maybe just start working out. Yeah, when you're in your lowest, it's hard to think in the moments when you're high, when you're in your highest, because it's too far from where you are. And so sometimes I like to read about children development in those websites that tell you how the children develop in their behavior. Those baby center or whatever apps that I used to have, that they still send emails, and I read them. And I was reading about the development of the 1-year-olds, my twins, how they would have days when they're like clenching to you, like don't let you go, and which becomes really hard when you have to go to the bathroom. But there are other days when they just want to be on their own and independent, and then they list the reasons for that. And of course, add to that the fact that there is a boy and a girl in my house, and so they're different creatures, different thinking, different everything. And so they spend like time together, but that doesn't make them the same. They're really, really different people. And so it's just helpful for me to think, from a little person, how you develop to slowly to become the person that you will become. And I like that. I like to read about that and learn new things about development of children, because that's where the core is, the core of what you're going to become. If you're going to become a person that has zero self-esteem, or a person who is self-confident and reaches out to others for help, it's very, very important. And recently my oldest tells me he doesn't want to go to school because and it's not the first time. Last night he told me that multiple times before that. And his younger brother also complained about, there is this particular teacher that came to their school this year in April, and he is an old grandpa, I believe, but he helps with one of the special kids that stays in my third boy's room in classroom. And so he's like a third grader boy. That's difficult. And so that grandpa assists with that, but he's also the science teacher for the school. So he teaches science most of the classes, most of the grades. But my middle guy, his teacher can teach science too, so he teaches them science. So that grandpa doesn't go to that classroom. However, my oldest loves science. He loves science. His interest is in plants and how to mix plants to make a better, stronger plant. Like, he's interested in those genetic things for plants. I don't think animals and humans, but plants. He wants to make better plants and better versions of them and stronger. And I think that's great. However, he hates science now. He told me he hates science because of that teacher. He has a bad mouth. He demeans the children, belittles them in front of the others. And it's not a good feeling to be in that kind of classroom. And I'm pretty sure because that's the old generation of teachers, you guys. That's how they used to be back home like 50 years ago or so. Just demean the kids. And I've had a math teacher like that. She was an educator. Her husband was an educator. Her daughter was my first ever English teacher, and I hated her, and I hated English because of that. So the whole family is kind of like weirdos. But she not only gave me my math test back with F, big fat F, but also she made sure the whole class knew about it. So I was my self-esteem went, that was like in high school. And so she was just temporarily there for our teacher. Something happened to her, she was absent, so she was there just to step in for a month or so. And so I hated math in my gut since first grade in elementary school. But let me tell you, I remember that woman, and all I can do to my kids and share with them my experience. And when I share with them, at least they know they're not alone, that their mom struggled with that as well. And that I'm there to help them, to listen to their struggle, and that's all I can do. Because that guy's not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. Once you go to a new school, you linger there for a while. Just give him like another good 3-4 years at least, he'll be there. And so by the time they finish school, he'll be there still. So, and he's a bad mouth. He has the guts to tell the kids, to shut up and like things like that, in Japanese, of course. So yeah, so this morning Yamato, my oldest, he told me he doesn't want to go to school today. So I told him, you've got two choices. You either hate the guy and you hate him hard and you hate the subject because of him, or you find his soft spot. Find his soft spot, what he likes, get under his skin and become one of the kids he likes. Those are your two options. And one takes effort more than the other. So your choice. And because you're not really here like allowed to be like, there's you cannot really stick out above the other students. Everybody's the same. And I hate that, because everybody's different. You cannot treat the people the same way, you cannot teach them the same way. It's just very stupid and old school. But the whole system is old school here anyways. Education sucks, man. It doesn't suck in a way of like there's things that they're really great, but the methods of teaching is really old school. And so yeah, I told him to do that. But anyway, so he cannot really try to stick out and be like that. But so he's ultimately probably gonna give up on that idea. But the teacher shows favoritism, and so that's not okay either. From what I hear, like he would be raising his hand a lot to answer the question, but he would ignore my kid. And that makes me really sad, because he is a smart kid and he has enthusiasm and to learn new things. So probably I will have to spend time aside and just spend time with him on science and just find things that make him keep going, want to learn new things. That's what I'm thinking to do. All right, guys, I have to get back home for lunch, feed the twins, and roll with them. I don't know what we're gonna do, but they're probably already napped or are still napping, and eat lunch and then play till their second nap, if any, today. We'll see. But yeah, it does really feel great when you let it all out, even if it's just me in front of the phone. It helps. All right. Okay, bye.